So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. So here's the Energy Wednesday class, and we're going to start by doing the daily energy routine, but with some winter water nuggets put in. So let's start by tapping stomach, just on the cheekbones there, giving it a nice tap. And breathing. And remembering that stomach is all about grounding. It's about trust, trusting that the earth is beneath us. And smile. When we smile, the body feels safe. Okay, and then move into K27, kidneys, so just underneath the collarbones there, those little divots. Giving that a nice little thump and remembering that kidney is one of the primary meridians, energy pathways that we associate with winter water. Very powerful meridian. And kidney is all about courage. It's all about stepping forward with courage. Okay, and then we come to the thymus. So if you come to your sternum here, it's just the top bit of that. And again, thymus, very important, very, very important for keeping out coughs and colds and bugs, keeping your immune system up. So giving that a nice little Tarzan thump. Oh. And finally, spleen. So if you come down the seams of your t-shirt, just to where the top rib really is. And if you're a woman, it'll just be underneath your bra line, giving that a nice little thump. Mine feels a bit tender today. So spleen metabolizes, it metabolizes food, but it also metabolizes emotions, information. So perhaps if you've had quite a heavy day of meetings or you're learning something new, then good to tap spleen. Okay, great. Let's just shake that off, rub your hands together, rub your tools together, shake it off. Okay. So now let's do the crossover, but we're going to start with the energy cross crawl, the homolateral repatterning. So we're just going to start same side, same leg. When we're really tired, our energy can't cross over. So by just starting like this, it's showing the body we're with it, we understand where it's at. And then at a certain point, we just bring the opposite hand to the opposite leg. And as I said last week, this can be done sitting down. It can be done more gently. You can just, whatever suits you. So let's go back to the repatterning. And then crossing over. And crossing over. Always finish with a crossover to just reinforce those patterns in the body. Okay, I'm just standing for a minute, grounding, and perhaps just noticing the difference having done that. How does the body feel? For me, it feels like it's more awake, more expansive. And at this point, I'm going to drink some water. So having a big cup of water is always good doing these exercises. Okay, so we've crossed over the body's energies. Now we're going to cross over the neurological energies, the brain energies, by doing the Wayne Cook. So there's different ways we can do it. Perhaps we'll do it the seated way today. So you cross your leg over. You put the opposite hand at the top of the toe. And then the other hand around that. So let me just show you. Okay. And then as you breathe in, you pull the leg towards you. So breathe deeply 6 times. And then unfold that leg. And you just might want to tune in for a second. And then the other leg, so cross your leg over opposite arm to the front of the leg and other hand behind. And again, we're breathing 6 times. And the main thing is your spine is moving. And then releasing that, and then we're going to come to that, making that little steeple and pressing in with our thumbs at the area between the eyebrows, and 6 deep breaths. And to finish, we're just separating the skin out on the forehead. And that takes us into a lovely crown pull, which really opens up the skull and just allows energy to flow. So if you're not going anywhere soon, then you can mess your hair up because you can brush it in a minute. So having a nice scratch of the scalp, so scratching and then flicking off. So just coming along the hairline, giving it a good scratch. And this opens up the bones in the skull, then scratching, opening up the neck. And then just hanging off the shoulders for a moment, because the vagus nerve, the fight, flight, freeze nerve runs through the shoulders. So just hanging off, giving it a good squeeze. Any tension, smiling, and then coming to the heart. Great. Now we're going to do Connecting Heaven and Earth. I'll just bring the video up again. Connecting Heaven and Earth. And again, this has got so many benefits. When you're feeling scrambled, you can't take anything more in. When you feel frustrated, okay, energy needs space to move. When you're feeling tired, basically, anytime you feel out of balance or kilter, Heaven and Earth is your go-to. Okay, so hands on thighs, nice wide sort of horse stance like in Qigong, feet hip width apart. Just tuning in. Excuse me. Okay, and then deep breath in, raising the arms up. And even raising the arms up so the fingertips touch, you know, all your meridians, or quite a few of your meridians run through your hands. So just touching the hands together is a sacred act and allows energy to flow. And then if it's accessible to you, just doing a gentle back bend. If not, just staying there. And then coming to the heart. Deep breath in. One hand up, one hand down, stretch. In out. Coming back to center. Opposite side. And as I said last week, the position of the hands are quite important because it's like, they're almost like conduits. So the hands that's reaching up is drawing in fresh energy, fresh inspirations from the sky. And the hand that reaching down is just gently letting go of anything we don't need, letting it go back to the earth. And then making this one your last one. And then brushing off the energy, coming all the way down to the feet if that's possible, even if you have to bend your legs. Just hanging for a minute. And then we're going to come up spleen. So spleen is the yin side of stomach. So just coming up the sides of the feet and the inside of the leg, and slowly, because yin energy moves slowly. Then when you're at the groin, giving it a good rake, because energy can get stuck here, particularly if you've only just woken up. And up and sides of the body, over the breasts, and then back to that spleen spot, and just giving it a nice little rub. And spleen is about love, and it's about self-love. So I nourish myself with love. Okay. And then let's do the Celtic weave. So lots of coughs and colds going around at the moment, and our biodiversity field, our kind of aura, that's not quite the right word, biodiversity, but anyway, I'll think of it. That's the first line of defense. So if we keep our aura strong, things can't work their way through to the body. So rubbing the hands, taking them off, rubbing them again. And then just playing, just starting to bring the hands out. Just having a sense of connection between the hands. So just holding them at the heart, about a football size. And bring them to the ears. And then we're going to cross, so crossing over and swooping out. Okay, and then moving down the body, doing that. And when we're doing this, we're sort of we're just stretching out the aura and making it strong, kind of weaving it back together. And then when we're at the feet, we can scoop up, scoop, 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 Earth's energy, and just rain it down. And then just having a little play, just sort of feeling out with figures of eights. You might feel a sort of membrane-y or slight thickness, giving it a nice little weave, and then just smoothing out the sides. Great. And then before we finish, we're going to do a belt flow, which is one of my personal favorites. So this is an amazing exercise, again, very grounding, but also gives you a boost, a positive boost, and it connects the top half of the body with the bottom half of the body. So coming to the back of the waist there, the Ming Men, giving it a nice little rub. And then scooping across. And side. Okay, so now we come to the winter water nugget of today. So last week, I'm going to adjust this a bit. Last week, we talked about K27, yeah, which is the one end of the kidney meridian, and we tap that. But the other side of kidney meridian is in the foot, it's in the sole of the feet. So we're going to do a little bit of work with our feet now. So why? Because it's easy for the feet to get blocked up, and K1 to get blocked up. And if the feet are, if they've got a lot of gubbins on them, you know, I'm not talking literally now, but energetically, it's very difficult for us, particularly as women, to suck up energy from the earth, and yin energy comes from the earth, okay? So it's really important to open up the feet and the hands every so often, just to make sure. So we've opened up the crown with a crown pull, but we need to open up to that earth energy, that yin energy. And, you know, yin yang, it's a sort of balancing. It's like almost like a pulley. So the more you bring up the yin, the more the yang can come down. So it's equally important for men to do this. Okay, so before I start, I'm just going to show you where K1 is. And I apologize for the state of my feet. They're not the best. So K1 is here. Okay, so big toe, second toe, you just come down, there's a sort of dip there and you'll feel it. But don't worry about being precise, because energy follows intention. And these are big points, okay? We're not needling them as acupuncture, just massaging them, something will happen. So don't worry about that. So we're going to do a bit of work on the feet. And as I suggested in the email, it's really nice to do this with a bit of oil. I've got a bit of just a base oil, which can be sunflower oil, and a bit of essential oil, but you don't need it. So if you've forgotten, don't worry, you can still do this and it will be equally, it will be good. It's just nice. It's just a nice thing to do. So cross one foot over, and I'm just going to have to describe what I'm doing here. I can bring the camera a little bit more down, but yeah, it's not going to work. So I'll just describe what I'm doing. Okay, so we've got the foot resting on the leg. So the first thing is the ankle. So I want you to gently massage the ankle, but kind of in a twisting motion. So a bit like, you know, when you're wringing out a towel or something. So obviously be very gentle, but really rub in the ankle here. And that's because there's so many important acupuncture points on the ankle. And I suppose it's like anything, it's like machinery that gets clogged with oil. You know, we just need to give these a little rub just to release any toxins. I've got a bit of oil, so I'm going to start with the oil now. I'm just going to rub it. And massage is often quite intuitive. So again, you don't need any particular skill to do this. But so let's, so we've rubbed the ankle. Let's just massage the heel of the foot. And then doing this kind of motion just to open up the front of the foot. Okay, so I'm sure our feet will be very appreciative of us paying them attention, because we don't often. Okay, and then we're going to do something called opening the gates. So between your toes, there's skin, isn't there? There's sort of like what we call bones, the metatarsals. So you're just going to rub along there, okay, and rub along each one. So from the ankle to the toe. And they probably will feel sore because, again, energy gets clogged there. Okay, so just go along each one. And again, that's what the oil is really nice, because it. And then when you get to the toe, we're going to do what my teacher, Jamie Chandler, calls a twisty pop. So when we get to the toe, give it a little twist and just pop the energy off. And we do that because the feet can be a bit like mucus plugs. They just can kind of, the toes, lots of energy can get stuck. Okay, so we've opened the ankle, we've opened the front of the foot, we've massaged the gates, which are that space between the toes, like here, yeah. And then we've given the toes a little twisty pop, okay? Now with our knuckles, we're going to rub each side of the foot. So the whole side of the foot, the whole length of it, okay? And when we rub and again, it might feel sore. So rubbing the inside of the foot is you rub in the spleen line, and then the outside of the foot, the bladder line, okay? So you decide what pressure to use. I mean, sometimes it can feel sore but good to do it, and sometimes it feels like, oh no, that's a bit much. So again, you know, just being your own judge with that. Okay. And then we're going to come to the sole of the foot. So I'm going to put a little bit more oil on that. And then again, we're going to move sideways, just opening up the foot, and lengthways. So giving our feet some love. They do so much for us, carrying us around all the time, and we don't always give them that love. And obviously you can spend much longer doing this if you'd like. Okay, and then come into that K1, which is again in that dip, sort of third of the way down the foot, from the toes, between the big toe and the second toe, but remembering energy follows intention. So you can give that a little massage. Okay, you can give that a little massage, but you can also do that kind of pulling apart that we've done with the foot. So just creating space around K1. Okay. And then giving it a little massage. And as we're doing this, K1 is known as bubbling spring. So we can imagine we're unclogging the well and we're just allowing nice, fresh, cool water to draw up our body. Okay. And then I've got a towel because my hands are a bit oily. But what I'd like you to do now is to pop your thumb into that K1 and pop your, so just putting your thumb and first two fingers together, and on the same side, pop it into that K27. And just breathe. So when we do this, we're connecting the whole kidney meridian, the whole kidney line. Kidney is about depth, it's about strong resources of energy. And it's what we need in winter. It's what kind of gets animals through hibernating. So we need to nourish our kidney. Oh, and I'm yawning, which is a sign that energy is moving. Just really using your breath here to be present. Oh, that feels really good. Okay. And before we switch, we're going to just, with any finger, we're just going to draw a circle on the sole of the foot, an anti-clockwise circle. And the reason we do that, this is to do with bringing up that yin energy. So when we draw a small anti-clockwise circle on the sole of the foot, we're just encouraging the foot to be open to the earth energy to come up. And again, breathe in, smiling. Okay, so putting that foot down and just sitting for one moment and just comparing the feet, having worked on one. So certainly the foot that I've worked on, the energy just feels more expanded, present. Bigger in the sense of this sort of spread in a very grounded way. Okay, lovely. So now let's work the other foot. And just to say that if it doesn't work for you, putting your foot on your knee, just crossing your legs in that way, you might want to have a footrest or put your foot on a stool or something. Just make it work for you. Okay, so we're going to start with that motion with the ankles, and I'm actually going to use a bit. So start with that motion with the ankles. So it's gently, sort of almost like squeezing a towel. And then giving that heel a nice little massage, really sort of rubbing the heel. I mean, energy responds to touch, you know, the body responds to touch. So, you know, we really don't need any training in this. We can just, when we're watching the telly of an evening, we can just give our feet a nice little massage. Okay, and then we're opening up the tops of the feet again. Okay, so giving them a nice open. Okay, and then the gates. So just starting from the top of the ankle, just squeezing through, and you'll find that pathway. There's like a hollow pathway between each of the toes. And again, this might feel sore, but it's good to do every so often just to clear any energy that has been blocked. And then, as Jamie says, twisty, 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 pop off each of the toes. And then with knuckles rubbing down one side of the foot. So when we do this again, you know, it's tough love. It's sort of, there will be some pressure, but make it loving as well. So the spleen side, which is the inside. Remember, spleen is all about nourishment and love. And the bladder side, and the bladder is about feeling fully alive, joyful. Okay, so the bladder side is the outside of the foot. And then starting on the sole of the foot now, so we're going to open up sideways and lengthwise. I'm sure your feet will be very happy. My feet seem very happy to be paid attention to in this way. Okay. And then come into that K1 point, bubbling spring. And again, just opening up the skin around it. And then sticking your thumb in it or your index finger, really massaging. Oh. So you might have your own way of energy moving. You might sigh or you might burp or whatever. It's all good. It's all energy moving. So then placing your thumb or your forefinger in that K1 spot, and we're going to come up to this, same side. Oh, it's that side, isn't it? Got a bit confused there. Okay. So connecting these 2 points. Stepping forward with courage. That's the affirmation of kidneys. So How can we give ourselves the resources to be more courageous, to live the lives we truly want? And again, you can do this for much longer if you wish. You can just pause the recording. You might find some gentle pulsing as you encourage these 2 points to connect. Great one to do if you've been ill, actually. Kidney is a great rejuvenator. Okay, and then let's make those little anti-clockwise circles on the sole of the foot, and we'll go quite slowly here. So just opening up the foot. So then when we walk on the earth, we're encouraging that yin energy to come up through the soles of the feet and give us endless energy. Wouldn't that be nice? Endless energy. Okay. So, and one thing I did mention, and I haven't got with me, is, but we can do that next week, is if you have a spoon handy, a stainless steel spoon, spoon the feet, spoon the soles of the feet. You basically rub the spoon, the sort of the bottom end of the spoon against the soles of the feet, and that just knocks off any kind of energetic debris. That is the cherry on the cake. So unfortunately I didn't bring mine up here today, but I will be doing it. Any spoon will do as long as it's stainless steel, and most of them say whether they're stainless steel. So okay, so we're going to finish up now, and we're going to do a little hookup. So with the hookup, you're popping your finger in your belly button, and then you're popping your other finger in that, again, that area between the eyebrows. It's actually the third eye area. Popping that in, and you're just pulling up gently. Oh, and what this does, it aligns all the energy in the body. So it's always good to do a hookup when you've done any work, because that will seal it in. Feels good. And then we're going to do a zip up. So we're going from our groin. It's like we've got a cord and we're zipping it up all the way to the bottom lip and locking it. We're going to do that 3 times. So you've worked hard today. You've balanced your energy. You've unblocked your energy. You want to keep that. You want to zip it in. And also, that's me throwing away the key. And also, it's really good to do if you're in a situation where you feel a bit uncertain, maybe going into a difficult meeting, you're feeling a bit vulnerable, zip yourself up, throw away the key. Okay, and then to finish with, we're going to come into what some of you know, which is heaven and earth. So we're just literally putting our hands out, closing our eyes, palms should be facing up towards the heavens. And this is a sort of gesture of surrender, really. It's like we don't have to work hard for everything. We can just allow the gifts to come to us. Reality's alive on its own side. You can also feel gratitude, perhaps gratitude for doing this class this morning. I know my feet feel very grateful. So just do that till you feel some sort of sensation in the hands, and then just bringing them to the heart. So I wish you a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and look forward to seeing you next Wednesday, where we'll carry on our exploration of winter water. Take care.